And welcome back to Bitcoin Advisors channel, bringing it to you here from Westlake Village, California, where it's going to be another beautiful day. Wishing you all a very blessed and highly favored day. So what are we going to talk about today? Bitcoin's price targets and some of the top altcoins and whether we are bullish or bearish on this market. And by the way, don't forget to hit the like button. It will help out the channel. So everybody wants to know, why has Bitcoin been down over the last week or so? We've got inflation higher than expected, coming in at 8.5%. We've got rate hikes on the horizon that are going to be higher than expected at 50 basis points for the next few months. We got the China lockdowns, and Putin says, he's done negotiating peace talks. And the dollar has been absolutely skyrocketing to our target of 103. Approaching a 5-year high. If you want to go back to 2016, we just took out that high. So very bullish on the dollar. I do suspect we get a bit of a pullback from here, which could give Bitcoin a little bit of a relief bounce here. And, really that's the bearish news. But it's funny how the news can really just change on a dime. 1 second, Elon is going to buy Twitter. Right the next second, he's not. Why? If he pulls his offer right now, Twitter prices will drop another 30% and he can buy it on a discount. Plus, why would he want to sell Tesla when it's down? Let's see. What is Tesla doing here? Tesla is down almost 30% from the high of 1,200. So, yep. Maybe he already sold some of his stock in the past couple of days. I don't know. I'm just spreading some more rumors here. I do think it would be a positive thing if Elon did get a chance to take over and really make Twitter private. That would be amazing for, everything that we want to happen politically, I believe. Anyways, let's follow up on. And I will say this, traditional markets are probably going to run the market for today, right? Nasdaq had a big spill yesterday, and we're getting a little bit of a bounce here. Question is, can we really, where does Nasdaq need to get back over to call this a failed rally? Yep, coming in at 14,450. Then I would call this a bear trap, and very, very likely we probably head up towards, what it would be some new all-time highs. But until that happens, I am going to be cautiously watching this market. But let's get into some Bitcoin price action, and we'll follow up on the last day of analysis. And forgive me, yesterday's video didn't get out because we had some technical difficulties, but if I can just kind of rehash from Monday and today. And what we were talking about is if Bitcoin had a daily closure below this line here at 39,000, then very likely the next stop is 37,000. Do I think it stops there? Probably not. Probably heading down towards somewhere between 34.5 to 33.2, somewhere in that pocket right there. So downwards pressure is on. And if we take a look at our momentum indicator, momentum will remain to the downside as long as we are closing below 39,186. And I will just, if somebody wants to front run this next upwards move, if we start closing dailies back above, I'd say 39,500, that's probably good enough for at least Bitcoin to give a try back towards 40, somewhere around 42.8. Other than that, so that was targets to the downside. Let's go over targets to the upside. And really, I'd be waiting for a daily closure back above 43,000. I'd move this line down here. You could even move it down to maybe 41,700. And that would look good for continuation for a little bit of a bear trap there. That's the bear trap, traps the bears. And then probably continuation to at least somewhere around 47,000 So that's upside targets. And if we can start closing dailies back above where this was before at 44.5, I'd be looking for 50,000 to get hit, possibly even 53 to 54,000, somewhere in that range. But that is just, the upside resolution. Right now, pressure is down, as well as the volatility indicator is starting to expand. And we did say, hey, look, we'll consider this trend in motion once BBWP gets above 20%. And that'll give me a indicator that, hey, a 20% move incoming at a minimum. And what would 20% look like? I don't know, from 40,000, because I imagine that's where Bitcoin's price needs to get to for BWP to start to really get up there around 20%. So 20% would land us somewhere around 50,000 or 49,000, somewhere in that range. And yeah, that would flip momentum to the upside. Volatility would be expanding from a very low level. And I'd say, it probably bleeds on into the 5-day time frame, which, but before we jump in today, and that's the big key is, the 5-day here. Whatever happens on the 5-day at the end of this 3 days and 9 hours, very, very likely going to give us resolution on the direction of this market for the probably next few weeks. But let's check out open interest, some of the underlying market dynamics. Open interest currently at 12.8 billion, so not quite back up there to that 13, 14 billion mark. Leverage is taking a slight move up today. Yep. At the highest point ever in history. So leverage is to the moon. And then we've got the fear and greed index coming in at a 21. And if you look over the last year, you can see anytime, we've been in this kind of region, Bitcoin does typically get a little bit of a bounce. I'd like it to see it come down around a 10 read. And that would probably be good enough for me to start at least looking for a bounce. But, yep, we went over the daily. Again, we're on the 5-day anyways, so let's just take a look here at the BBWP. And the same thing for this one. I want to see the BBWP get above 20%, and that's going to tell me, hey, the next big volatile move, somewhere to the tune of about 45%, would be incoming. Right now, we've got momentum cross to the downside and will not cross up unless we get a 5-day closure back above 46,000. So we're a long ways away from that. And I do imagine, if this daily bounce right here, which this is completely fine and very typical to get a bounce to the 9 exponential. Why? I'm willing to bet we have some divergences coming back from this point right here. So we have 1, 2, 3. That's not a confirmed low. How would we confirm this as a low? Well, 1, closing above 40,000, above this high right here. Or 2, tomorrow, let's say we close something like this, some kind of a, we hold this $38,000 level. And then tomorrow we get a closure above today's high, which we don't know what today's high is yet. We've got another 8 hours and 20 minutes. But that's how I would confirm the third drive of bullish divergence. And again, bullish divergence is when, price is making lower lows and RSI is making higher lows. So in fact, this is hidden bullish divergence, right? So price is making higher lows, this 1, 2, 3 higher lows, while the RSI from this point back here is making 1, 2, it looks like 4, but there's at least 3 drives potentially being put in here on hidden bullish divergence, and that typically will get you a shot up to the green 55, which is at 41,500. So we'll see if we can get a pity bounce there as the dollar pulls back from 103. If it does, I mean, it could just moonshot right through there. We don't know what's going to happen there. So, let's just hop into some altcoins here. That's it for the daily analysis on Bitcoin. Ethereum also looking pretty weak. And Ethereum has a target. If we can get a daily closure back below 2,760, then I'm looking for a move down to 2,600 with a short bounce, and then probably a move all the way down to 2,300. To the upside, how would I declare this a bit of a bull trap? And I would say any kind of a daily closure back above 3,200. And I'm looking for this guy to at least reapproach the high of 3,500 and probably go higher from there, alongside Bitcoin doing the same. So let's just kind of mark off a couple levels here. And another one right here, because this is, and we could fill in these wicks here somewhere between 2,300 to 2,100, and that would be kind of the downside move. And the same thing on 5-day BBWP. We are about, well, it's still declining here, and when we do expand, we want to see it back over the 20 percentile, regain the exponential, and that'll look good for a big volatile move in Ethereum. And I imagine, it comes somewhere down. If the 5-day closes anywhere here or lower in the next 3 days and 9 hours, then I would expect Ethereum to come down probably around 2,300 with a small bounce around 25. So that's the 5-day. What do we got on the 4-hour? Anything noticeable here? And the 4-hour, if we just do a little bullish retracement here, if we can start to close back above 2,900 or call it 3,000, that's going to look good for at least a move back to $3,000. And if we can get over 3,000, next stop is going to be 3,200. And so right now we've got momentum will cross up on the 4-hour. If we can close anywhere above 28.21, and the next 4-hour closes in 16 minutes. So it does look like we're about to cross up here. Let's bring it down to a 1-hour, and the 1-hour kind of getting a little backfill here. And again, this is where I like to use these fib retracements to kind of see, okay, is this a fake out? What do we got going here? But on a bullish retracement. So we really got to get above 2,900, the 618 right there. Otherwise, this is just going to be another failed little pity bounce. And let's check in real quick on Nasdaq. So again, daily, I'll just finish up my thoughts on Ethereum here. If we get any kind of a daily closure below 2780, I mean, actually, I think we were talking about this level yesterday. Anywhere below 2,900 very likely gets us that move down to probably around 26. So that looks like it's in play. You've got momentum to the downside. You've got volatility expanding off the lows. And, again, once this thing gets over 20 percentile, price is going to move in the direction of the trend. And, well, could we be putting in a higher low here at 2,700? We got a higher high. Is this going to be a higher low? How would that get confirmed? I would say, well, any daily closure back above $3,000, and that'll look good for. Let's see, how many do we got? Any divergences coming back? So that's only one drive or maybe two drives. No, it's one drive of bullish divergence, which typically only gets you a move up to the 9 or the 21. So again, it looks like a bit of a pity bounce alongside Nasdaq, which Nasdaq's in a bit of trouble here, getting a bit of a pity bounce. And we've got a lower low and a lower high here. So What's the next step? Lower low. And the next stop, I do believe, would be around 12,200. So hopefully we get some really good earnings reports today, and hopefully next week the FOMC meeting, Powell backtracks and says, "Hey, look, instead of doing a 0.5 point rate hike, we're only going to do a 1/4 point." And I think that would really juice the markets, but we really don't know what he's going to say. So, you know, if he does what he said he's going to do and he raises another half a basis point, I think that would, or 50 basis points, that would not bode well for the markets. So let's keep an eye on that. Let's check in on some of the altcoins here. We did Ethereum. Luna, which we have been saying just needs to hold this level here. And in fact, I believe I had it up here, which we broke it yesterday. So we broke the green 55. We broke $89. And so that being said, you know, it looks like we want to come back down to 77. Somewhere in that range. Let's just throw a fib on this retracement here. And I'd say any kind of a daily closure below 87. Next target is going to be 79. And we probably get a bounce there. But, you know, not looking as strong as we would have liked. So where does invalidation come to the downside? I would say any kind of a daily closure, which we have been holding this area, say $100. Daily closure back above $100, and that's if you want to be a little more aggressive. If you want to be a little more conservative, yeah, I had it up at 102. So above 102, I'm looking for new all-time highs, and that target to get hit somewhere around 130 to 140. That would look really nice for Mr. Luna. And, you know, again, a project I do believe in, I do like. But, you know, when Bitcoin rolls over like this, you know, everything else is going to take a hit. Here's one of the stronger ones, up 8% today. Aave, the lending platform. If we can close like this, you know, a daily back above 180, and I'm going to look for a shot up to the purple 200 at 204. Any kind of a daily closure back below 153. And I think we're going to have a nice measure move down somewhere around here. So, and that would look like a major buying opportunity in my book. If we go back in time and just take a look at, well, essentially that would be the first higher low if we bounced in that region. I don't believe the market is ready to totally destroy itself and implode on itself. I don't think that is the case. I think, you know, that's just not my opinion right now. What else do I want to take a look at? Atom is on the weekly, making a lower low. On the daily, having a bit of a bounce here. It was down significantly yesterday. Could this just be a backfill? Let's see if there's any divergences here. I mean, really, we just came and filled out these last wicks here. And if this bounce fails, well, where would I call it? Above the 618 at $28, I would call it a failed bounce or a bear trap. And we're looking for, you know, moves back up to about $41. So could we be on sale right now, on fire sale for Mr. Atom? Well, I think it depends on what Bitcoin does here. If Bitcoin plays down to those downside targets, I believe that it will take most of the market with it. Let's take another look at another outlier here, up 6% today, making new all-time highs. Took out this wick right there. This is APE. So it is the governance token for the Bored Ape Yacht Club. And it's been ripping and roaring to the upside, even while Bitcoin's been going to the downside. I don't know if you guys know anything about Bored Ape Yacht Club, but it's pretty much the biggest NFT, the most valuable NFT collection in the marketplace right now. And I would say any kind of a daily closure above yesterday's high at 1959. I'd be looking for some more new all-time highs, and the next target would be up at, call it 21 bucks. And so I'll just draw that out here. Now, here's what I would say, because there's very little history on this asset. You know, brand new asset coming in March 2022. Very little history on this asset. So where is the point of failure? And I would say here, right here at this level, at 1774, any kind of a daily closure or a 4-hour, even a 4-hour closure. If you want to be more conservative, you put it right there at 1750. I'd be looking for a move down to 16 and then probably 13 bucks over time. Why is that? Well, we've got several drives of bearish divergence, right? Where price is making higher highs and the RSI is making lower highs. And how many is that? Let's see. So would I confirm that as a high? No, this is the high, right? So we got 1, 2, 3, and this would be number 4. And 4 drives of bearish divergence, typically going to get you that move down to the green 55 minimum, if not the purple 200. And so how would we confirm this as a local high? Well, what we need to do is close back below here tomorrow, or or today, below 1850. So I actually could move this up to here and say any kind of a daily closure back below 1830. I am looking for a minimum target move of 1627. And yeah, this has been one of the relatively strong assets in this cryptocurrency market, despite Bitcoin's downturn. So let's keep an eye on that one. And it looks like everything's getting a bit of a bounce. You know, all these assets are getting a bit of a bounce today, a relief rally, which is good. However, and look, dollar pulling back from our 103 target, which we've had this target for months now. We've been talking about it. When dollar goes up, risk on assets go down typically. So that's stocks, that's Bitcoin, and everything that comes along with it. Those risk on assets don't like when the dollar is strong. Okay. So we'll be back with another video for you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, we're not financial advisors. It's not financial advice. If you enjoyed our daily analysis, click the subscribe button to get reminded of all the future daily videos we put out and resources we drop. Also, if you're interested in learning about incorporating Bitcoin or other cryptos in your IRA, there is a link in the description below. Thanks and have a blessed day.